Hello.
Oh, hi, Melissa.
Get excited to talk Super Bowl spots.
I am excited to talk Super Bowl spots. This is like the
Really?
first time that the thing I'm really excited to talk about, though, is the halftime show. So I'm gonna have to you
No,
know,
we can
I
save while everyone joins period to talk all about the halftime show.
I'm part of the 40-year-old mom group that went nuts because it was like our heyday, man. That was like those were our jams, Mikey.
No,
Did you know
hey,
those
I know
songs,
all
Michael?
those. Yeah, what do you think? I live under a rock? I mean, come on, shit, are you kidding me?
I'm just giving you grief.
No, I thought that was the best one in a while. Also, like I saw someone tweet, I think it was like Roger Sherman from The Ringer that it was like, oh, it was really nice to see like usually they just go after the old crowd and put like the Who or the Rolling Stones, and then it was like, oh wait, then it hit me, like I am old now.
I, I saw that. It's
But
like, no.
yeah, well, we know I'm an old 29, so or 28, sorry. Whew.
Cool.
Hey, don't go too far. Easy.
Yeah, yeah.
We did it. I think it's working. Can you guys? I'm assuming you can hear me because everybody stopped talking. But is it working?
Yes.
We have some
Yep, we
people.
were
Very good.
waiting
Uh,
for your grand entrance, Mark.
Perfect. Yeah. Well, hey, while we get settled in, what'd you guys think of the game? Did anybody? I know we're here to talk commercials, but did anybody watch the game?
I
I
sure.
watched the game.
It was
Yeah.
absolutely, as a Detroit fan, that was a huge just validation for Stafford and could not be happier for Matthew and his family. And it was also proving that like he was never the issue. It was just that the Lions were the worst organization in sports. So
Oh,
that,
yikes.
yes.
Hopefully, we don't have any Lions fans.
Hopefully nobody from the Lions organization tunes in to hear me say that. But no,
Yeah,
it was good to see Stafford win.
yeah. I'm the same way. I was rooting for the Rams mostly for Stafford. It was like, oh man, that'd be cool for him. So
Yeah.
I have to
cool.
tell the truth. I was at a neighbor's house and we walked across the street at the most inopportune time, like as the Rams were coming back. And I'm like, we gotta go. Like our kids are gonna have a meltdown. We gotta go. My husband's like, right now? And I'm like, yeah, right now before they lose it. And then we walked across the street and missed the total, the comeback and the whole dang thing. And walked in the door and we were like, oh wow, the Rams run. And Mark's like, I told you. What's wrong with you?
Yeah, I thought it was a pretty good game. There were definitely some calls that a lot of people were debating that I'm no expert on, but I thought all in all it was an exciting game to watch, which you always hope for.
Yeah, you're actually not allowed to grab someone by the face mask and turn them around. And
Yeah.
that's actually in the rule book. That's a no-no.
Yeah, and people were mad about the hold at the end of the game, but I thought it was a hold. So
Yeah,
I
that
also
looked like
thought it was a little biased.
a ball too. It was like, okay, we're gonna make one up here.
Yep.
Definitely a makeup call from 3 quarters earlier.
Yeah.
Guys, I have to call attention. Schmitty 418 is a Lions season ticket holder and he's outraged. So I don't know, Mikey.
We can just ignore him.
All right.
We can just ignore him. You can ignore him completely. Pretty much anyone commenting, I feel like it's gonna be my friend group, so you can just.
So I actually wanted to take a minute and encourage that. So if you're here to hear about it, advertising professionals talking about advertising, that's great. You're in the right place. If you're here because you know Michael Plislinski, please use that comment button frequently. Often we see you, we feel you. Like this is live, like that's going straight out there. It's unfiltered. So let's take full advantage of that.
Yes. Please do.
Thank you. Yes, thank you.
Well, what do you say? Should we get started? Does it feel like the right time?
Feels good to me.
All right.
That's
Well,
right.
as I mentioned, we are advertising people here to talk about advertising things because the day after the Super Bowl is kind of a big deal for advertising people. So here we are. We want to talk about, who won the Super Bowl from an advertising perspective, because this is, like I say, this is like our Christmas. So, hello, my name is Mark. I'm joined by, like I say, these advertising folks. So I'm here with Melissa Mater. I'm here with Michael Plislinski and Shannon Baker. We all work together at Gatesman Agency, and we're all just, pretty excited to do a little commercial recap and debate what was working, what wasn't, what we, and since it's Valentine's Day, what we loved. So let's jump in. Melissa, I'm going to start with you. We all saw Penn Hills native Aaron Donald win the game for the Rams, but which brand do you think won last night's Super Bowl?
Ooh, good question. Mine's an easy go-to. I think Chevy with the Sopranos reunion was definitely.
Oh yeah.
It was super unexpected. They still kept their electric vehicle, the Silverado, right there at the time. Every second, I was like on the edge of my seat, surprised by something from the time that the Sopranos theme song started, from the second Jamie Lynn turned her glasses, and then at the end, of course, whenever Meadow and AJ reunite, I just thought that was amazing. And it was so true to the Sopranos intro as well, which was really cool to see. And it wasn't really teased at all, which I appreciated. I had no idea it was going to happen. Whenever the ad started, I thought maybe there's a new Sopranos movie after the other one that just came out, or something to actually do with the series, because it was so well done. But it turned out it was just the Chevy ad, but a really great one. That was
cool.
it.
Good one.
Yeah.
Michael, Shannon, what do you guys think about that one?
I love that one. I love the Sopranos. So I thought that was really cool to see them and Meadow Soprano and I can't remember the kid's name, but him back together. That was awesome. And it also was like good because it showed like that, the EV and like where we're going with electric vehicles, and it wasn't like, oh hey, here's a crazy Cybertruck that's never going to leave the ground. It's much more like practical. Like, hey, here's a car you already know, it's just an electric version of it. So I think also like did a pretty good job to resonate there.
You guys, I'm just going to like stir the pot because yes, I love The Sopranos. Who doesn't love The Sopranos? But like you're all talking about The Sopranos and not the product that was actually being advertising. Barely, Michael, barely. I mean,
I just did.
Like, but barely. Like the big talk is all about like the anticipation of like, oh, is Tony, like what's going to happen? We don't know. So I'm going to say that one was good for like the talk, but I don't feel like it did a good job selling the product. Like if you're going to talk car ads, I feel like the one that sold the product well was the Toyota Tundra, right? The truck, where you're seeing the truck the entire time. It was the Keeping Up with the Jonases,
yeah,
or depending on who you are, the Joneses, right? And your demo, but like that was all about the vehicle. That was all about seeing it in the terrain, doing the things that it could do really, really well, and then it just had super fun personality and riffs and jokes along the way, which I thought that one did a really great job for the car series, but it wasn't my favorite overall, but I did think it was a good one for vehicles.
I did.
Cool.
Yeah, I did like the Keeping Up with the Joneses one. I thought that was good.
Mm-hmm.
That was good. So I was only like, I would say smallish fan of The Sopranos. Like it took me whatever, if that was a 30-second spot, it took me until like second 28 to be like, oh, this is The Sopranos. It wasn't a show that I really got into. So like I kind of eventually got there, but that's sort of the risky role where, I'm sure the data was out there saying, lots of people love the show. Trust me. Probably a lot of people that don't. So like for me, I was watching that going like, why is there like the guy holding looked like the lumberjack dude, and it was like Big Sale or something. There's just a lot of references that I didn't get as, not a fan of that show. So that's like the risk you run there. And then I got to be honest, I didn't like the end where it's like yourself a gun and plug it in. That didn't hit for me, but I get it. Like if it's a show that people love and you can find a way to make it fresh and relevant, you're gonna win some of the people with that for sure. So,
yeah.
All right, Shannon, what won for you? You brought up the other car ad, but who won the Super Bowl from your point of view?
I would have to say again, Rocket Mortgage. I feel like they just crush it year in, year out. I mean, Barbie and the Dream House. I mean, it connected. It made sense. It was funny. I love the different types of home buyers. Anybody who's, hey, clickety clack over there, you're killing my vibe.
Sorry.
I love
I was
you,
gonna
Mikey.
I was gonna bring up Dan Gilbert's Rocket Mortgage. Michigan State, of course, is number one. Obviously.
Oh, lordy. But I tell you what, I thought it was really good for anybody who's recently bought a home or somebody who has bought a home. You know what that's like when you're competing and the intensity of it, and you know, Rocket Mortgage as a product being able to get you in there quickly and ahead of the competition. I thought it was great. And you know, Anna Kendrick, she's super fun too. So I was a fan of that one. I thought that was the winner.
I was gonna say I love Anna Kendrick, especially I feel like when I was like a freshman in college when Pitch Perfect came out, so everybody was just, you know, all about Anna Kendrick like throughout college and stuff. So she was seeing her in an ad, like I haven't seen her I feel like in a movie in a while, so her kind of making a comeback was good. I like that ad. I would say mine, I feel like it's a really easy one to go with, and I had it written down, was the Coinbase QR code one. I mean, it was up there for like a minute and it was just bouncing around. And I think they also kind of paid like, I don't know if they did it on purpose, but they had it like hit the corner of the TV. So I think that might have been a little like a nod to The Office when they had the episode where they just watched the DVD thing go around. And I mean, everybody pulled their phone out and tried to get the QR code. And then when I realized it was Coinbase, I just closed my phone. But I mean, it still got me on the site, right? So, I mean, it did its job. It got me where it needed to do. And I think the whole like site ended up crashing because so many people went to it.
Well,
We would never have that. We would never have that problem. Yeah, we would never have that problem.
that was my too, Michael. I thought, you know, it's a tough brief to get, right? Like, hey, be in the Super Bowl, and you're like, wow, we're gonna need popular songs. We probably need a dog if we can squeeze a monkey in, like all the tropes of Super Bowl commercials. And they're like, nah, we got this. So I think there was some precedent there. I think Reddit last year kind of broke the Super Bowl with their little lives. So I think they were like, hey, let's do something counterintuitive here. So I thought they just turned that up. I mean, like again, with the thing ping ponging like The Office, and then I don't know which college. I'm sure lots of colleges do it, but like they do that in between quarters for their football stadium. They'll just like bounce the logo around. So I think they found a way to like, okay, that's our audience. Let's find something they like. Let's also do something that is like remarkably sort of unspeakable, like just burning money, right? With the but then I did the same thing. I got up off my duff. I scanned the QR code on my phone or on the TV, and like immediately it was like, it's Coinbase, surprise. Here's an offer. Here's the little ticker that says for the next 44 hours you can get this deal. I was like, that's pretty smart. Because all of a sudden, I never really, you know, I don't do a lot of, cryptocurrency. I don't want to get into finance. It's not my thing. But like all of a sudden, I was like, oh, okay, hang on. There's a little ticking time bomb on this offer here. So I thought they did just a really nice job of converting that. I'd be, you know, curious to see how many people took them up on that and opened an account or whatever it was.
I thought crypto in general was like a big presence too. Like there was a ton of ads about it. Like Don't Get Left Behind. And I thought the best one was the Larry David one. But that's just because I love Larry David and Curb Your Enthusiasm. But him basically being like, I'm never wrong about these things. Like it's a fad. So I thought that was great. But they were just all over the place. Like every ad, like it would end and it'd be a crypto ad. I think even like the LeBron James one was a crypto ad.
Yeah.
And it was just like really with his younger self. So I thought crypto in general just was like a huge presence.
Here.
What?
Yeah.
That was the line in the Larry David one that got me. He's like, I got 10 forks right here.
Yeah. Yeah. So I mean, those to me, the crypto ones stood out as like just hitting us over the head. And also the metaverse had some good ones too, I thought, where they like, it was like a homage to like Chuck E. Cheese, where it was like robots and like, but it was also like, I'm sure you guys don't know about it, but like Friday Night at Freddy's, it's like a video game series that they like kind of played homage to as well, that like hit probably a different generation. So I thought they did a good job like making it relevant to people while also like getting it out there. So I had a couple others that I thought were pretty good too. I thought the Lay's,
lay it
Seth
on
Rogen one. Lay's,
Lay it on.
Lay's, lay it on ya. Ooh, the Paul Rudd, Seth Rogen. I thought that was good. And then I don't know if you guys ever watched this TV show Scrubs, but the T-Mobile one where Zach Braff came out and then Donald Faison was his neighbor, and they were like the two main characters, and they always did like singing numbers in the show. So to see them back and singing together, I thought that was awesome.
Yeah, it's almost like if Sopranos wasn't your show, hopefully Scrubs was, because you got that reunion after all.
And I mean, I'm never gonna have T-Mobile, but like if I, was in the market, maybe I'd consider T-Mobile now. So
cool. All right. Anybody in the audience who thinks we're getting this wrong, go ahead and leave a comment with one thought was the best one. But so what did we hit? Coinbase. We hit Which one did you bring up,
Rocket.
Melissa? Rocket
Chevy.
Mortgage, Chevy, and then two Coinbase. Okay.
Hmm.
All right. Very good. So let's move to the next question. Who fumbled? Who botched it? Who choked in the Super Bowl?
I thought the NFL ad, like just a minute long NFL ad where they came out of the TV, was really stupid. Um, like you don't really need to have an advertisement for the NFL, and if you're going to, maybe like address all the issues going on. Don't just like try and dance around it. Like there's a lot going on in the NFL right now, and like I don't know if you need to have the animated guys coming out of the TV. Like your stars are already marketable on their own. They didn't need to do that. That was a pretty stupid commercial. But what do I know?
I agree. I thought it was a bummer too, Michael. They've been good the past couple of years. I feel like they've had really strong ads, and this year, yeah, it was just kind of wah wah.
Yeah, I didn't like that one. That was my biggest loser.
Hmm.
Mm-hmm.
I think I hear you on it being tone deaf. There are certainly some like joyous, fun to watch moments in that, but I think at the end where it's just like, I don't know, like I don't think it like landed its thought, right? Like the one I remember is now probably several years old where it was all the NFL stars singing "The Sun Will Come Out Tomorrow," and it was like, "Hey, tomorrow we're all undefeated." That was perfect, right? Like that just like hit. This one was sort of like, okay, cool, we have NFL people, no, and there's generations of NFL people. So I guess I get it, but yeah, I think you're right, Michael. They have like so much going on. It's like you guys might want to just kind of be quiet for a little bit.
Also, yeah, like in someone, I think Brandon pointed out, like they use like really weird CGI. Like, why not? I think it was like NBA when they were releasing the NBA like 100. They had a really good ad. It was like 2.5 minutes on YouTube of like they used the actual players. I don't know why the NFL didn't use the actual players and like go do it that way. I mean, it made no sense why they wouldn't do that and just like actually have the stars and like market them that way. And that's what I think the NBA does just so much better than the NFL.
Hmm. Okay, that's a loser. Melissa, how about you? Who lost it last night?
So speaking of how great Coinbase did earlier, I think Polestar tried to do the same thing where they tried to throw out all of the typical Super Bowl ad stuff. You mentioned, puppies, monkeys, babies, all of that stuff that tends to work well. They kind of tried to throw it out the window and do what ended up being a pretty lackluster ad, in my opinion. I had to go back and look up who the ad was even for, which probably isn't ever a good sign. It turned out they needed some of that stuff. They needed some excitement, in my opinion, to really sell in the vehicle. And I think if you're going to go out there and make fun of what tends to work every single year for everybody else, you should really hit it out of the park. And my opinion, they just didn't do it. So that's going to be my loser.
Okay. What do you think, Shannon? It looks like you're making a
Ah,
case.
I was gonna say, don't ask me that question. And of course, there it is. I don't know. I mean, I'll be honest. I think it was nice and refreshing to have um, a lot of humor in this year's ads. Last year, it was such a tumultuous time. We were kind of analyzing, are we going to get out of this lockdown? Is there a glimmer of hope? This year, you didn't have that type of emotional pull as much as you had just people trying to get a laugh. And I think, I don't know, there's a fair amount this year that I think did try too hard, especially with just the onslaught of celebrities. And sometimes it didn't even make a lot of sense. So I don't know. I mean, I feel like the ads maybe this year weren't as good. There were a few gold stars, but overall it was a little less exciting than what I think it has been in years past. So I don't know. I'm not sure I was a huge fan of this year's output. And believe me, like I get it. There's four of us in the ad industry talking. We know this better than anybody, how hard the process is to create this masterpiece, this entertaining masterpiece, because that's what we're trying to do. And oh, by the way, also convert somebody into purchasing something or trying something or recognizing something new. So it's not without, heartburn that I say some of the ads this year were a little disappointing because I understand that process, but I don't know, I was a little underwhelmed overall for this year.
No, I agree with you, Shannon, especially on the point of like, I can't even imagine like trying to get a Super Bowl commercial, like go through the process of like writing that brief and then all the reviews and revisions and how like difficult it would be. That would be such a challenge. But I did really appreciate though that they didn't like, there wasn't like sappy commercials, or they didn't try to like be like, oh, we're all in this together for COVID. They didn't have any like commercials about that. They just kind of were like, yeah, we get it. It's been 2 years. Like, you guys don't, nobody needs to be reminded of it. We don't need to be hit over the head with it. We've all been living in misery for years now. So, I mean, like, life's hard enough, and this has been hard enough as it is, and exhausting. Like, I'm just so exhausted in general. So it's just
Yeah.
kind of nice to just, it was a lot more focused on like, oh, let's just throw a ton of celebrities, maybe get a laugh. Like the Michelob Ultra one just had like Brooke, and like just a bunch of athletes like Brooks and Peyton Manning. So I really like that one too. Of like, it was just a lot more like fun and not like, oh, let me tell you about this like sick dying person and why you should feel so bad on your couch right now as you're like sitting with friends watching the Super Bowl and feel bad about yourself.
I tell you what, though, when Serena came in and looked at Peyton, that was kind of like, oh, what's next? I
I
wanted to
like
see
that.
that throwdown because, you know, Mr. Peyton Manning was feeling pretty good about his chances in the bowling league, but that was good. I want to
Yeah,
call out Danielle Reese, who, like, Pringles, Taco Bell, Doritos, like, Doritos always has an amazing commercial, but, like, what do you guys think this year? Like, the animals and the sloth, the bear, the, what the heck
it
Oh
is
caught my
yeah,
it?
the
The
attention
fox.
with them
uh,
singing. I mean, it caught my attention. I was paying
Yeah,
attention, but I don't
yeah.
know how good it was. But I
I
mean, I
remember
guess if it caught my attention, hey, we're talking about it. Nope. All
I was
press, you
waiting
know,
for
all
a
press is good press.
yeah. I was waiting for a stronger callback to the Budweiser frogs. Like once I like they took it into song, and I was like, oh, they're gonna do the Budweiser frog homage or whatever, and I was like, no, no, they're just gonna sing. Okay, that
Yeah.
one was a yeah. It's hard. It's so hard when you like when so much of the success of your commercial pin like hangs on a certain celebrity or a certain show or a certain reference. Like if you don't get it, you kind of feel like, oh man, like what you know what's going on there. Yeah, the Doritos one I was not a huge fan of. Um,
Yeah. And they're usually good. They're so good usually. It's kind of a bummer.
yeah, even I mean, I think the way that you use a celebrity is really important, right? Like, because I mean, when I first watched or first saw the Superior Bowl spot, I was kind of like, oh, this is gonna be so great. There's all these celebrities, but I was like, okay, they were just there. Like, they didn't do a lot, right? Like, they made a grand entrance, and that was cool, but I think it's like one, you got to find that celebrity, and two, like find the way to use them in a unique, fresh way. So that's some foreshadowing. I think we might hear a little more about that later. Um, I'll let you know who I thought fumbled last night. I had three. I thought,
Oh, wow.
uh, okay, I promise you, nobody remembers this commercial. Mach 3 spent a boatload of money to say that you can shave your face as fast as you can wash your face or whatever. And it was like all this visual eye candy of it was like the sink was bouncing to like throw the razor in the dude's face. It was pretty dumb. And like me watching it, I was like with my, creative industry lens, I'm like, wow, that is a lot of money on the screen. Like literally to announce Mach 3 as a razor, which I feel like wasn't newsworthy 20 years ago. And like, I feel bad. Like that's a tough brief to get where it's like, hey, tell people that shaving, which everybody like unanimously doesn't like, is less of a chore. So I just thought that one was a total miss. It like didn't feel like the product rose to the level of like, let's announce this on the Super Bowl. It felt like they just kind of, I don't know, burned a lot of money on a visually delightful spot that was like not really funny, not really enjoyable. Just that felt like a huge miss for me.
The thing that's kind of shocking about that one, it's, Gillette's owned by P&G, and usually P&G has good ads or like really pointed, or they're like a really strong message comes across. And so that's kind of shocking. It's like P&G had just missed the mark so highly.
So here's the question though. So P&G still has their like amazing Olympic spots right now, right? Like the one with Chloe Kim. Oh, that's amazing. So do you think, guys, that any of these brands put more emphasis on maybe the Olympics versus the Super Bowl? P&G is the example.
I definitely think so. I mean, you consider Super Bowls every single year, whereas the Olympics are a 4-year thing. It definitely makes sense to put your ad dollars a little bit more behind that, where a lot of people are excitedly tuning into that and looking for that inspiration too, which Michael just said they do so well. So why not invest your dollars there?
I That's an interesting question, but I don't know. I don't have like the numbers of who's watching what, but I have to imagine the Super Bowl is way more viewed than the Olympics. And I not to dog on the Olympics, but the Winter Olympics just don't do it nearly as much for me as the summer. So like I haven't really paid attention to much other than like women's and men's ice hockey and curling. Those are like the two that I've like paid attention to. So I don't know. I feel like it'd be a bad bet to focus more on the Olympics and the Super Bowl because, like we said, it's the Super Bowl. You know.
Yeah.
First it was Lions fans you're upsetting. Now it's anyone who likes
Olympics fan. I know.
Team USA.
I
Jeez,
live
Michael.
for chaos. I live to create chaos. Everything I do must be a production, and it must be to cause chaos. So it should not come as a surprise to any of you.
Here's another one that made my my losers list was, and I don't even remember which one it was, but like every movie promo that I see on the Super Bowl, I don't know that the ROI is there, that like that many people are gonna be like, oh yes, in this movie I'll go see now. Like that, those always feel like a miss to me. That and like whatever NBC show is on next. I'm like, I would have just taken like
they're giving us
to another Mach 3 and collected the cash instead of saying like tonight was Law and
or they're giving us like new episodes of The Equalizer starring Queen Latifah coming out next or something. Like, okay, come on, nobody's watching that.
if that's what they ran.
Yeah,
but
thank you, Ian.
I guess, Mark, but my one thing is I know they showed the Lord of the Rings trailer, which I'm excited about the show, but it looked like the CGI in it looks really bad. So I think like they should have maybe like held back on that because I feel like they're just kind of getting roasted and people are like, you spent almost like $1 billion on the show. It looks terrible. So I feel like I saw them getting roasted on Twitter a lot for just not looking good.
Yeah. Yep. So I just feel like those are tough. And then the last, I'm going to give honorable mention to The Rock's outfit as maybe something that was just a bit off. That
he went on for so long.
I don't know why.
On way too long.
Yeah, I love The Rock too. I'm a Rock guy. So
yeah, it felt like did we need that? It's like we sing the national anthem, we sing like the other America the Beautiful or whatever, and I'm like, that's great. Like that feels like it hits all the right notes. And the flyover. I just don't know that we need The Rock, like telling us that we're about to be entertained. I felt like weirdly, I don't know. For as much as I like Michael Buffer before a boxing match or something, like The Rock addressing a large group of people, that didn't hit for me either. So
I think it was just it went on too long. Like if he had just done it to like a minute or two and got everyone fired up, that would have been cool. But I just didn't. Yeah, it went too long. I like The Rock like if it was just shorter. I also thought the national anthem was really well done. And also it hit the over if you're into betting and that sort of thing. You could bet on if it went over under a certain time limit, and it did go over. So
wow.
Yeah.
Colleen made a good Colleen Seaweed pointing out that he missed a good musical opportunity. He could have been a musical guest and sang his new song.
Oh, yeah, it's all over TikTok. His song, yes, his rap song is all over TikTok. So, or it was a couple months ago. It was a big trend. So, I'm sure Shannon and Mark are like, I don't know what the hell you two are talking about TikTok.
I don't know.
You'll have to listen afterwards.
Not everybody can spend 20 hours a week on TikTok like I can. So,
we can build.
Market research.
All right, let's move on. We'll go to our next question, and let's see, Michael. I'll start with you this time. Which first-time brand wins Rookie of the Year for you?
I mean, probably. I mean, I guess there's not like a first-time brand because Facebook's been around for so long, but I feel like the metaverse, because I don't think there was any commercials for the metaverse last year. Because it's so new, but I think like it's such an exciting new space to be in, and like it's where we're going. And as everybody knows, I've been in the metaverse. I have this stupid Oculus headset that I put on. I've gone in it a couple times, so I thought it was just exciting to see it and like get people like talking about it.
So I agree that the spot was well done, and I thought it was interesting to watch. But I don't know if I'm alone here. It did not get me excited to go to the metaverse. Because the first place I'm going is not Chuck E. Cheese or whatever comparable children's location there is. So I don't know. There was a little bit of disconnect about how cool the metaverse could be. But it was a cute story. It was fun to watch.
I feel the storyline there. Like, I think when you play in a band with people and then like that's a classic, I think, problem that the metaverse can solve. So it's like, oh, I want to get the band back together. Like we've all said those words. So like, I thought that was a pretty cool way for them to, choose that band. I thought that was pretty fun. And then they rescued him from the dumpster. Yeah, that was one, like, I wanted that one to be longer. Like, if there's a director's cut floating out there, like, that's one I'd probably go check out just to see. Um, but I don't know. I thought that one did a pretty nice job of like showing the technology in a way that's like, hey, we can all relate to this problem. Here's here's how we solved it for these little animatronic robots. So I thought that one was okay.
I think it may have been focusing. I brought it up earlier too, and I mentioned it originally, but I don't. I think it was Chuck E. Cheese, but it was also like there's a really popular like TikTok trend and video game called Friday Night at Freddy's. I think it was hinting at that more than Chuck E. Cheese. Just to be what I think. I'm sure you guys have no idea what I'm talking about, but
I know.
I don't know the game.
Make
Yeah.
you're honestly your kids might know what it is. Like that's
Yeah,
who would know. And so as a 28-year-old, and I'm like, oh, I resonated with that because I know what 12-year-olds are up to these days. It's a tough scene. Tough look for your guy here.
yeah, my kids have played that. I don't like Fridays at Freddy's or Five Nights at
Yeah.
Freddy's. Whatever.
Yes, that's what it is. Yeah.
So, okay, let me say this then, because earlier I was saying, hey, I'm not a Sopranos person, so that was a miss for me. I'm not really a Five Night at Freddy's person, but that commercial still felt like a hit, So, like, I don't know. That's messing up my logic now, so I don't know what to do.
It may have went for both, like the Chuck E. Cheese, a little older, and then the younger crowd as well to try and hit both of those demographics. And I don't know, maybe you guys have aged out of the metaverse. I don't
Oh
know.
gosh. Here comes the chaos. Here it comes. Stir
Yeah.
that pot,
I
Mikey,
I
stir it.
live to create chaos. I live to create chaos.
Oh my God. I hope none of your clients are hearing you say that.
James from Michigan would already be like, "Oh, I'm well aware of Michael and his chaos." So
Yeah.
he got a nice Valentine's Day text from me this morning. So
Sure.
I'm sure he's well aware of the chaos I'm creating.
All right, Shannon, did you have an entry for the Rookie of the Year?
I mean, I would have said I don't know if Coinbase ever did anything before, but I felt like, hey, that's their first time. Everybody's talking about it, so that would have been my win.
Yeah.
Just given all of the online, offline, and then yeah, let's see what they do. So that would have been my winner.
That's mine too. And it was their first ever spot.
Was
So it was really risky to go out there and really just let the QR code speak for itself. But clearly it worked. This is like
Yeah.
the third or fourth time we've brought it up just on this Instagram Live. So
Mhm.
I think that was definitely my Rookie of the Year too.
Yep, I'm in the same boat. That they won the Super Bowl in my book, and I think to do it as a first-time brand, that really hits. So, kudos to the
I don't-
Coin people.
Yeah, I don't know how risky was it though, because with like Corona and everything, and how you go to restaurants now, everything's QR codes. So everybody knows how to use them now. I mean, like going with like my parents is a struggle. It's like I can't get it to work, but like everybody knows how to pull out your phone, get your camera, like focus on it, and then it pulls up the website. So I don't know if it was that risky. I think it was really smart and it was so simple and easy to do, and they probably spent all like their money on buying the spot itself. I saw it was like $7 million for the
Yeah.
spot. So I mean, that's a real easy way to like, we'll stay in budget and we'll buy a Super Bowl spot.
I think for such a big platform too, though, you fight some potential like hesitations, like where's this going to take me? Who's doing this for starters? So I know myself, like I waited until I was kind of like, oh, I have to now. I'm gonna scan this QR code. But I think the other thing that really worked for them too is they didn't tease it at all. I think so far all of my favorites, that's the theme, that I didn't know what I was walking into. So when I was scanning that, I really had no idea what I was getting into, and the payoff was just like, okay, but it made me respect them. So I thought it was interesting.
Cool. All right, so let me shift gears one more time, and I want to ask you guys, which celebrity gets the game ball? Who do you think was the best, most valuable celebrity that you saw last night? And Shannon, I think I have to start with you this time because I've started with everybody else. Hot seat.
Yeah, I mean, oh gosh. I don't know. I mean, I guess I'd say maybe the flip on like what I don't even know what Jonas brother it is. Who is that little one? Is it Nick? What's his name? Is that his name?
Yeah.
I guess like the flip from like Joneses to Jonas, I guess. 'Cause I'm running through all my other celebrities that were in these like ensembles, and it was just kind of ho hum to me. So I'll say that because it was unexpected to me.
For me, it was we didn't bring up the ad itself, but the Squarespace ad with Zendaya. I think she gets it just because she is so popular right now with Euphoria and Spider-Man, and like everybody knows who she is, and everyone's like so invested in her and Tom Holland's relationship. So just to see her basically get the whole ad by herself, I think, and it wasn't like there wasn't other supporting celebrities in it. It was just her for like a full 30 seconds. So I think Zendaya definitely, for me, got it. She's
Which
just too
one?
popular not to.
I missed that one. Which one was that for?
It was the
Squarespace.
seashells.
Yeah, the
She
seashells.
Oh,
sells
okay. I
seashells.
did.
She sells seashells.
You want to try that again, Shannon?
Got it.
I
You
forgot
say
about.
it. Do it.
No way. But no, I would pick her she's so popular, and it was just her, like, she didn't have to share the screen. It wasn't like, and as much as I love the Michelob Ultra ad, you had like so many different competing athletes coming in where it was like, okay, oh my God, and them. But it was just her for the whole time. So that was it for her. She was it for me.
Yeah, my fave's also someone who didn't have to share the spotlight, and it's definitely Jim Carrey in the Verizon ad.
Oh,
Him revisit his role as the cable guy was so perfect to me and unexpected because I'm pretty sure this is the first commercial he's ever done in his very long career. So to have him, after not really being in the public eye for quite a while, make an appearance in an ad like that, it just kind of spoke to the nostalgia of the whole night for me, like with the halftime show and some of the other ads. So that was definitely my favorite, and it felt really perfect too. He played the role great, made a really nice parallel to Verizon's 5G service. So he was my standout celebrity for sure.
He looked really young too.
He
Like,
did.
he looked
yeah.
really young. I don't know if they did something there,
Right
but
back
he
into
looked, yeah.
So there's certainly a lot. What one pretty popular ad that we haven't talked about yet is the Uber Eats one, which had a pretty star-studded cast of all the people that can't eat the food, even though Uber Eats brought it. So I would give that one a couple of votes for best use of celebrity, just because they had a lot of people in there. But I thought the one that so I just want to honorably mention that one. Kudos to the people that were involved in that.
That one made me cringe. Oh,
There's certainly some
cringe.
cringy.
I didn't like the Uber Eats ad either. I thought it wasn't very good. I'm with
Yeah.
Shannon on this one.
But fun fact, before we're off the Uber Eats topic, Mark, sorry to interrupt you, but they sent a lot of influencers those candles that they were munching on in the ad, which I thought was a cool teaser for the influencers who could then show off, guess what I got after the fact. So it was interesting.
Yeah. Yeah, that one was certainly a lot of people. It felt like everybody was kind of playing their part. You know what I mean? I think in my book, you get a couple bonus points for like being a little, I don't know if I can even use this phrase anymore, but like being a little meta with your celebrity, right? So like, I actually really thought, and it wasn't like a fantastic commercial, but the way that they used the mayor, Guy Fieri, I thought that was pretty good. Where it was like, here's my whatever Bud Light seltzer that has all this flavor. Tap it, like the mayor needs the, and then it was Guy Fieri, the mayor of Flavortown. That was pretty good. That I thought did a nice job of using a celebrity in kind of a weird way, and like in a humble way too, because I'm sure there's like probably a large part of Guy Fieri who like loves being the mayor of Flavortown, but I bet deep down inside he kind of hates it, right? If you ask, like. So I thought that was big of him to just be like, yeah, no, I'm the mayor of Flavortown. I got the goofy hair. Everybody loved, like, I don't know. I thought that was a good use of celebrity.
One thing I'm curious about, did any of you suspect it was going to be him whenever the reveal, or before the reveal happened? Because as soon as I saw him, I was like, oh, of course.
Yeah.
Yeah, the buildup was really interesting.
I think that's what's so great. If you pause the commercial right there and ask America who is the mayor,
Yeah.
Nobody would get it right. But then everybody would be like, oh, of course. They have the goofy hair, like the loud shirts. Like, so I thought that was what made that for me. It was like, you got me. Like, I felt like I was being tickled as I watched that one.
Good descriptor.
Yeah. Who else? How about I'll shout out honorable mention for Lindsay Lohan in the Planet Fitness ad. That was pretty good.
Yeah. Good to see her back mentally straight and doing an ad that was normal. That was good to see.
It was Danny Trejo. Is that how you say his name? That guy?
Yes. Yeah, that was funny. Yes, that was good.
That was pretty solid.
or her just destroying Dennis Rodman on the was it Jeopardy sort of panel too.
Yeah, that
Hmm.
was
That was good.
pretty good. Where Dennis Rodman came in and was like, "Come on, man."
Yeah, that was good.
Cool. Um, let's see. So, guys, it's Valentine's Day. Anybody who's listening in, remember that it's Valentine's Day today. Um, what did you guys see that you loved? What made you like feel the feels? Melissa, how about? Can I start with you there?
You can. For me, it was Disney Plus. It was really great how they were able to find a relevant way to tell all of their pretty old movies that they have for the most part on the platform, but having the goats of all movie spots and kind of featuring all of the different movie celebrities via goats, which was probably good for their budget, was hilarious to me. And all the way through till the end where they had the goat kind of mimicking the up balloon scene. I thought it was great and kind of appealed to all ages as well. Like I'm sure if there were any kids still up watching that, they thought that was fun, but definitely everybody probably enjoyed it.
I would say for me, it's probably the Kia Soul dog. I mean, that was a real easy one, right? The robot dog, and then he, passes away, but then he gets charged and he's back, and you're all happy. So I thought that was probably it. Or what I loved probably the most, and it's not a commercial, was the halftime show. I mean, those were like Eminem and 50 Cent. I mean, come on. That's probably low hanging fruit for me to say, but those, I mean, I thought that was one of the best ones we've had in a long time.
Yeah,
Yep.
I think my favorite too was the meme that was going around afterwards for all the working moms out there, where Mary J. Blige like laid, she was donezo, like exhausted, and it was like,
Yeah.
yes, that's what it's like to parent in COVID and hold down a job. That made my night too. I thought that was awesome. I don't know, feel good, Mark? You guys can all just boo me out, but I did like the Clydesdale coming back. It was like,
Oh
come
yeah.
on, America, down and not out. Like, we're going to make it with his faithful friend, the little, yellow lab or golden lab, whatever it is. But I don't know. I liked it. I was probably in the minority with that, but I thought that was a good story, too. We're back, baby.
The Clydesdale, it's like a home base. Like,
It
it makes you feel home.
It
Yeah.
did felt more normal though, didn't it? When you saw the Clydesdale running in the Super Bowl, you're like, okay, we made it. We're good.
We made it.
That was a good
Yeah.
one. I have a controversial pick here because I think it's not getting a ton of good reactions, but the one that I was like surprised at how much I really liked was the stupid Pringles commercial where he gets and like the way they
All right,
cut
Mark.
the way they cut that was so good. Where like like they get stuck and then the next cut was like the moment with the girl and then they like blow the candles off and they just all the reveals of it. I feel like it got goofier and goofier as it went, but like kind of always in a, I don't know, maybe it fell off the cliff at the end with the funeral, but I just thought that was funny. They took it all the way to like, man, this guy's in his casket with this Pringles can. I thought that was pretty funny. I was, maybe it was just like that time of the night for me where I was like mentally out, but I was like, that was pretty funny. I got a kick out of that one.
Yeah.
What else? We talked about the Kia dog. What did you guys think about? It's kind of similar as the Pringles can. It was like a very simple premise that just kind of kept getting goofier and goofier. The Carvana ad, I think it said, "Will drive you crazy" or something like that, or I forget exactly what the line was, but it's basically the lady telling everybody, like evangelizing Carvana in all her different scenarios and all the different jump cuts of where she is in her life. So kind of similar architecture as the Pringles spot. What'd you guys think of that one? I thought that was another good one. I was like, pretty good.
I liked it too. I think it maybe tried to go a little too far at times by the end. I actually felt similar about the Seth Rogen and Paul Rudd ad, where by the end I was like, okay, it was funny along the way. Yeah. But yeah, overall, I thought that was really creative and definitely kept me engaged for the most part.
Maybe I'm having like a case of amnesia, but I literally just do not remember that ad at all. So
I don't
maybe
either.
maybe
Michael, I'm with
Maybe
you.
in my old age, I just can't remember everything that happens to me in one night. So that one went over my head apparently.
She
It
was
didn't
talking
stick with me.
so
So
it was like in all the wrong places, right? Like, I think there's one scene where she was like the judge, and like instead of reading someone the sentence, she was like, and then the Carvana people called me and they said, so.
Just can't stop talking about Carvana.
Yep. We got a comment from cat_Miller10 saying, what would we think about the Irish Spring commercial?
Oh, you know what? It reminded me so much. I meant to bring this up of like Midsummer. I don't know if you guys have ever seen that movie. It's like a horror movie, and that's like I think it was supposed to, and I think Wicker Man too, or like those were like the two movies it was kind of playing like homage to and like pointing it out. So I thought that was really like kind of funny, especially if you know like what Midsummer's about. It's certainly not a light, funny movie. It's like a horror movie. It's good, but it's not like the way the ad made it seem so fun and like cheery, but like the movie was so different. So it was just I thought that was actually really good. I should have brought that up. Great comment from
Got
Cat
it.
What was
underscore
Here,
Miller.
here, I thought it was like a throwback to like the commercial I remember in the '80s, and you're telling me it was tied to some cult movie. Like what?
Yeah, Midsummer. Yeah, look it up. I think that's what they were trying to. I think maybe they were hitting your age demographic, Shannon, and then my age demographic.
My
was, like,
age
hitting,
demographic.
Yeah,
Is that
hitting back a
what?
couple years ago for you, and then the people who like saw like Midsummer. I think they were kind of pointing to it as well.
That's pretty wild.
That
Yeah,
might be my exit. That might be my time to exit. When Michael tells me my age group, it hit differently. So yeah, maybe.
Maybe.
Everybody he
Time
can.
for me to go.
Yeah, I mean, nobody was going to be safe. Are you kidding me? Like,
Yeah.
what'd you think? Should have known when you invited me to this.
Melissa, what were you
Man.
saying there? It sounded like you had something.
No, as far as that one, that was kind of like Carvana was for Michael, I guess. I don't really recall it too much. I was able to tune it out, so maybe didn't resonate with me.
I thought that line was pretty solid, though, where they're like, they need to, and maybe this is the Midsummer reference that I don't get, but they're like, you need to receive the correction or whatever. Like, that was just a wild, like, moment of like, what? And then, he just comes out with a cable knit sweater, probably smelling great. That was pretty good. What else are we missing? What do we, before we wrap it up, what ads or events should we be talking about that we haven't touched on yet?
I like that the E-Trade babies were back. That was kind of fun. The to be continued. Like, are they going to carry them through? Like, what's going to happen? Michael, you might not remember those E-Trade babies. You and your
No, I do. No, I do. I was
28-year-old self.
Michael may be one great baby.
No, talking babies are an easy win for me. So that was. You give me a talking baby, I'm going to smile. So.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I feel like other than that, I mean, we've been talking Super Bowl ads for over 50 minutes here.
I know.
I don't know how much you can really keep belaboring on these Super Bowl ads. I mean, I could talk ads all day, every day. Don't get me wrong. We love ads around here.
Yep. Well, it sounds like that's our cue, you guys. So I'm gonna go ahead and call it and wrap us up. So if you've joined us, thank you, appreciate it. If you've commented, double thank you. If you're one of Michael's friends, please, your time is running short. Go ahead and
give us some solid gold here, Michael's friend.
Yeah.
No, I think we're good. Don't give them that opportunity.
Lauren Bender. Hi, Lauren.
don't give them that creative freedom.
Especially me.
I keep messaging them in our group, being like, please stop. So.
Well, very good. Speaking of
guys.
things, big stop. We're gonna wrap it. So thanks. We'll see you all next year. What would we say? Smash that subscribe button. Do we like for more?
But like where your head's at.
Yeah. Very good. Well, thanks everybody. We'll see you next year. Let us know what we got wrong, and until then, have a great Monday. It's Valentine's Day. Don't forget.
Bye, guys.
Bye.
Bye.